Greetings. Hello, friends. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Cincinnati and the beautiful Hall of Mirrors. It is Sheriff Appreciation Day, and we want to give a hearty welcome to all the men and women of the Hamilton County Sheriff's Department. We have a treat today. We are going to begin our program with the Hamilton County Sheriff Honor Guard and a performance of the national anthem as sung by Robert Lomax. Honor Guard, to you. Let's give him a round of applause. Robert. Great music stirs the soul. Thank you for that performance. Next, please remain standing for the four-way test and invocation by Kelly Collison.
Thank you, President Steve. We are thankful for this day that you have given us, for its blessings, its opportunities, and its challenges. May we appreciate and use each day that comes to us and place service above self. We pray for strength and guidance for each day as it comes and for each day's duties. May we be challenged to give our best always. We are thankful for our very dedicated Sheriff Charmaine McGuffey, all of her team who serve us well and work for safety, for justice, and peace in our community. We celebrate their service, their bravery, and their dedication. Keep them safe from harm in their service to all of us. Amen. Now for the things we say, think, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
You may be seated. Next, welcome Dan Long to the podium to welcome our guests, prospective members, and visiting Rotarians.
Thank you, King Steve. We have 9 wonderful prospects, and thank you so much to those Rotarians that have brought prospects and guests to the meeting. Starting off, we have Ryan Favor, a guest of Mark Romito with AT&T. Next, we have Jim Gurwey, a guest of President Steve King with 8451. Next, we have Chelsea Jansen, a guest of Esteban Colley with First Commonwealth Bank. Next, we have a visiting Rotarian from Sanibel Captivo Rotary Club, Will Jones. Next is Sonia Kramer, again a guest of Esteban Colley with Western and Southern. John Miller is a guest of Jeff Weir, and he is a retired Hamilton County deputy. Katie Myers is a guest of Jim Yunker from the YMCA. A guest of Melinda Kelly is Lydia Steck from Cincinnati Magazine. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, we have a flag exchange from Sonia Shaw from Surat, the Surat Club from India.
This is beautiful. How delightful. Look at that. This is Rock West.
We have a colorful country.
It is. This is delightful. Thank you so much, Sonal.
Thank you so much.
And as the chairman of the Membership Development Committee, a little plug: as you leave the meeting today, you'll receive a little handout that is going to be a kind of schedule for what's coming up in September. We've got great speakers. We've got a coffee coming up. We've got a hands-on service coming up. So there's plenty of opportunities to bring prospects to an upcoming function. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan. Great job. Sonal is the president-elect of her Surat West Club. Thank you for coming today. Sonal came a long way. Thank you, all the prospective members and guests, for being here today. We welcome you. Next, we have an exciting new event to promote. Esteban, do I see you in the wings? There you are. I invite Chair Esteban Calle to the podium to introduce Rotary Happy Hour. Who doesn't like that?
Thank you, President Steve. Good afternoon, Club 17. Did you know that happy hours became a thing when drinking was illegal? From 1920 to 1933, the 18th Amendment, aka the Volstead Act, aka Prohibition, was the law of the land in the United States. But as you most likely know, drinking did not cease entirely during this period. People gathered in speakeasies or a friend's house for a download cocktail hour to kick off business gatherings or family or friends. So with that fun fact, thank you each and every one of you for being here with us today. We are pleased to announce that our monthly Rotary Happy Hours and networking will be starting this coming month. Starting on September 6th, we will meet every first Tuesday of the month from 4 to 6 to network, drink, connect with our fellow Rotarians. Our first meeting will be at Wise Guys on Montgomery Road. The theme of our first meeting will be to make meaningful business connections by sharing truth with each other, and we will have a fun activity around our theme with a prize, so you don't want to miss out. During the next few months, we ask that you join in the first Tuesday of the month to do our happy hours. And be intentional about connecting with each other. Please RSVP if possible. Bring a friend. Let's have fun. And our first drink is sponsored by Synthetica Energy, who, thank you, Sam Schude. He put it together, so thank you for that. And thank you in advance. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.
Esteban, you have made this happen. Thank you so much. A regular recurring opportunity for networking has been a dream of this board for some time, and Esteban helped make it happen. And on a regular basis, first Tuesdays, Wise Guy Lounge is really going to be fun, and thanks to Sam Schutte for making it extra fun. Next, I'd like to welcome Director Tony Autry to give us an update on the Ghana School Project.
President Steve.
I like your red.
Thank you. Hello to everyone. I want to say hello to my husband and my guest, Will Jones, all the way from Sanibel Island. Glad that you're here with us today. Nelson Mandela, the former president of South Africa, said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." And I would like to say thank you to Club 17 and to all of the donors for the Ghana School Project that you so amazingly sponsored. On behalf of Melinda Kelly, our past president, 2021-22, in which our project fell under, as well as our amazing King Steve. We also would like to thank our past president, Rick Flynn, for sponsoring our fundraiser for the Ghana School Project, Chuck Martz and John Farmeyer, our World Affairs co-chairs, Owen, president of the Rotary Foundation, Sarah, our executive director. She came right in and just helped us get the job done, as well as Christy. And I also want to put a special shout out to Kay Atkins, whom in which shared her expertise with me behind the scenes. And of course, our Ghana School Project team, my husband, myself, and my daughter, Alexia Archery, whom in which is the president of the University of Cincinnati Rotaract Club. This year, my husband went to Ghana to fulfill the World Affairs Committee Ghana School Project from June 22nd through July the 8th. With the assistance from the Suyani East Rotary Club and the teachers from the Basiansi schools, he was successful in completing this project. Unfortunately, this year, my daughter and I were unable to go with him. He will now share with us the project, and immediately following him, we will view a brief Ghana Network broadcast that captured some of the project. Bafor.
Thank you, Tony. We had a successful Ghana School project again this year. Let me share with you the outcome. We serviced 5 schools in Ghana this year and 2 medical clinics in Bisiansi and Japekrom, Ghana. 15,000 pairs of sunglasses, which was donated by Marcon Company, was distributed. And 200 pounds medical supplies were taken to Ghana for distribution. With your donations, we were able to provide 5,176 textbooks to the schools, 450 dual desks, 35 bookcases, 15 teachers' tables and chairs, and 3 schools were painted, both the interior and exterior of the building. And some of these schools have not been painted for over 30 years. We also gave one school one commercial printer. And we received acknowledgement letters from all the schools and clinics to show their appreciation to Rotary Club of Cincinnati. They are on file at the Rotary office. Again, thank you for your support for this signature project for the World Affairs Committee 2021-2022.
The African education sector continues to face serious challenges of low and inequitable access to education, irrelevant curriculum, and poor learning outcomes, inadequate education financing, weak education system capacity, and weak link with the world of work. Education financing by an African government is still very inadequate due to low capacity of many of them to raise taxes for increasing economic and social investment. In terms of percentage of GDP, government financing of education looks substantial, but in absolute terms, the per capita expenditure on education remains very low. Hence, most African governments have to rely on international aid for sustaining education financing to cope with the fast-growing youth population. To this effect, one of the world's most vibrant and dedicated non-governmental organizations that has immensely supported in the education sector across the globe, especially Africa, is the Rotary Club of Cincinnati, Chapter 17 in Ohio, USA. The Rotary Club of Cincinnati is dedicated to improving the quality of life of children in Ghana through education. Rotary Club of Cincinnati believes education is the key for the fundamental transformation of our community toward a prosperous future and more just society. They have provided diversified support to a number of schools in Ghana, especially at the basic level. The recent donation was the provision of a number of education materials, including hundreds of textbooks, dual desks, tables, sunglasses, teacher's desk and wardrobe, among others, to Bisiansi MA Primary School in the Josu Municipality in the Ashanti region of Ghana. At a mini deba organized to officially hand over the donated items to the school, a number of stakeholders, government officials, chiefs, teachers, parents in and around Bisiansi community came together to grace the occasion. Some children of the school trailed the gathering with some exciting poems and cultural dances, privileged in our societies.
The Rotary Club of Cincinnati, chapter number 17, is doing a great job in assisting schools in Ghana. The Rotary Club has been very, very forthcoming in helping with this year the schools in Kotokum Primary School. They also assisted in providing dual desks, books, textbooks, and teachers' chairs and tables, and painting the schools in Abroma. We have also been able to present some medical supplies to the people and the health center at Japekrom in the Bronx Ahafo region. Also, some medical supplies were passed on to Madonna Clinic in Besiasi. Today, we are so happy to be able to present to Besiasi MA School dual desks, some textbooks, painting of the classrooms, and even some teachers' tables and chairs. We hope that the teachers will help the children and be able to make sure all the school books are used and maintained well, so the children will grow up to be good citizens of Ghana.
So what are your expectations? What positive results do you want to see from this?
From this project, we hope that children will be able to learn well and be able to pass their school exams to be able to go to the university. We do realize that these children are competing in the global village. They're not only competing only in Ghana, they're competing with other children all over the world. So by being able to get a good start, to learn and get the correct things that will help them to learn, they will become useful citizens of the country Ghana.
Wow. That's really, really cool. Tony Bafour, you truly are dedicated to improving the lives of children, your work with the World Affairs Committee, and taking all those supplies, 50,000 pairs of sunglasses. What a tremendous accomplishment. Thank you so much for that work and for this presentation. If you have questions about that Ghana School project, the World Affairs Committee is meeting this afternoon. You could visit the whole crew, but direct those questions to Tony and Bafour. Thank you again. Next, I have a few announcements. This week's meeting is sponsored by the Yunker Group. Thank you for your support, Jim and Dawn and Kay and Michael and Janet. And thank you for your executive search talents that led to hiring Linda Muth 10 years ago and most recently Sarah Pattison. Thank you, Yunker Group. We'd like to wish a happy birthday to the following Rotarians. Tuesday was Judy Pogue. Today, Deanne Fleming. Saturday, Deborah Schultz. Hi, Deborah, on Zoom. And Sunday, we have 3 birthdays, Chris Adams, Deb Cayley, and Greg Mordechek. Happy birthday. Okay, Sheriff, would you pick a ticket for me, please?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Going for the bottom.
The early bird, right?
Yes.
Sheriff's going for the early attendees, the early arrivals. All right, 4185, the last 4 digits, 4185. The prize today is $43, split the pot. Do we have a winner? Mr. LaValle. All right, you're pulling for $408, Mike. Looking for the Queen of Hearts. Two of spades. So close, Mike, so close. I'd like to give a shout out to Chair Mark Supine, Rotarians Dave Ziegler, Steve Rosenzweig, and Bill Stilley, and all of those who helped with the Camp Allen hot air balloon rides. 4 successful rides this year. Once again, the campers were grinning ear to ear, and it was a huge success. Thank you, Mark and the committee. Another shout out to Chair Hux Miller and the Hands-On Service Committee. Their hard work at the Imago Earth Center on August 13th. There was an enormous pile of mulch there. Thank you very much, Hands-On Service Committee. Final shout out goes to Nancy and Jerry Reese. They hosted 24 players at their home on Tuesday for Rotary Euchre. There was a beautiful home, a beautiful pool, 6 tables, lots of food and drink, and prize money. Many thanks to Chair Linda Muth and to the generous spirit that smiled on the rookies. Josh Vogel and I, we want to thank you from the bottom of our heart. Sharing the top 2 prizes with a couple of newbies, it was a real class act. Anthony Ricciardi is going to host the next Rotary Euchre on September 27th at the Carnegie Center in Columbia, Tusculum. Contact Linda if you'd like to attend, and she's encouraging rookies to come, apparently. Thank you, Linda and the Rotary Euchre Committee. Committee Fair. Please join us next week, Thursday, before the meeting for a committee fair. We'll be here in the Hall of Mirrors, and we'll have several committees looking for some helpful hands. Rotarians love to help out, and we know that many hands make light work. So come early and join several of our very productive committees. The neighborhood coffee is back. Esteban's got a happy hour. Michael Schatzman's got a neighborhood coffee going. It is the season of connecting here at Rotary. It's time to socialize with your fellow Rotarians and enjoy breakfast at a new local eatery. Please join us for the next neighborhood coffee on Tuesday, September 13th, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at Fulton Yards in Riverside. Please feel free to bring guests and prospective members. For more information and RSVPs, contact Michael Schatzman. Thank you, Michael. Family of Rotary. Good news. Let's help Rotarians Bob and Mary Brandstetter welcome their newest grandson, Otis, born August 12th. August 21st. Sorry about that, Otis. To daughter Laura and son-in-law Kevin, and to brother, how do you pronounce the brother's name? Gaetano. Now, on a separate front, congratulations are in store for Abby Reese, who married Shane Geiser this past weekend on August 21st in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Congratulations, Abby. And without any further ado, I would like to bring Michael Vallardo to the podium to introduce our very important program.
Thank you, President Steve. Before I introduce the sheriff, I'd like to give everyone in the room a heads up that when Esteban was announcing the happy hour, the sheriff pulled out her phone and took down the date, time, and place of that happy hour. So behave. I'm telling you. What a privilege it is to have the sheriff and many from her department here today. We just so enjoy these days when we can show appreciation and recognize some of those stellar performances of their positions in our community. And this is one that we look forward to every year. Sheriff Charmaine McGuffey is a lifelong Cincinnatian and a 35-year veteran of the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. Prior to being elected sheriff in November 2020, she held the rank of sergeant, lieutenant, captain, and major. Sheriff McGuffey took office on January 4th, 2021, and is the highest-ranking woman in the history of the Hamilton County, Ohio Sheriff's Office. Now, I have a whole list of accomplishments that she has been able to do in her career here. But I want to skip down to, and I'll come back to those, to 2 sentences that I think bring the context to those accomplishments. Sheriff McGuffey is a reformer and effective leader committed to move our justice system from one of hard incarceration to one that offers opportunities for rehabilitation. Sheriff McGuffey is committed to public safety and to ensuring accountability, transparency, and engagement with the community as the foundation of the work in the Sheriff's Office. I think we ought to applaud that commitment. And so, Sheriff, there are a lot of accomplishments here. I'm going to skip over them. You probably get tired of hearing them, but we want to hear from you and from your deputies that we're honoring. Please welcome the Sheriff.
Thank you so very much, and thank you all for inviting us, for inviting the Sheriff's Office. And, you know, I will say I do want to attend the happy hour, but I really was just turning the ringer off on my phone. But I can attend. So what I'd like to start out with is this. You know, we're here to honor the men and women who wear the black and gold, who wear the uniform, and, you know, we're also very aware of the hardships that our nation is facing, particularly with law enforcement and the way that law enforcement is viewed, and in fact, some of the mistakes that law enforcement has made. We also want to, though, really to move forward, we need to celebrate, and we need to make it public how good our law enforcement men and women are, the leadership role that they take in our society, and really how connected they are to each and every one of us. And, you know, gestures matter, you guys. A wave matters. A smile matters. You know, a pat on the back matters. It matters when you say hello to people. You know, I ran the training academy for many, many years, and one of the very first things that I taught the new recruits to do is to greet people. I mean, it was mandatory. You're not allowed to be in a bad mood. You're not allowed to pass by someone in an elevator or in a hallway without addressing them, which is good morning, good afternoon. Those things matter. And when you bring men and women to the table, to the forefront, to give them the gesture of thanks, oh my gosh, what it means, you know, what it means to all of us. And, you know, I'd just like to, you know, as I move along here and present the recipients, these well-deserved awards, I'd just like you to think about that and remember that things matter, gestures matter. And this is a huge thing for our deputies today. It's a huge event, and we're very excited to be here. Speaking of gestures, I will share one. The staff is used to my war stories. So I will share one story. When I was running for sheriff, I was marching in a parade in one of the local neighborhoods. And, you know, I'm kind of moving sort of fast through the crowd and trying to shake hands and so forth. And I hear this little voice behind me saying, "Hey, hey, hey." So I turned around, and there's this little girl standing there. She's about 8 or 9 years old. And she walks up to me, and she hands me a little piece of double bubble gum that she had gotten from the parade out of her bag. And she said, "Good luck." And, you know, it's a gesture. It matters. It's important. So I'd like to, without further ado, say thank you to the Rotary Club of Cincinnati for hosting us, and y'all do incredible work, and I'm going to now present the awards that you all have made possible for our men and women in uniform. I will first start with our Career Achievement Award. This award goes to Deputy Mariah Colbert. I'd like to tell you a little bit about Deputy Colbert. She joined our sheriff's office in 2020, and she's assisted since then with our training academy, with our physical fitness groups, and with defensive tactics training. She's been a mentor, and she's becoming a field training officer so that she can train officers that come into our department. You know, she was elected to participate in our very first certification academy for police officers, because she's in our sheriff's department, and maybe I'll back up just a moment. You have to start in the jail. That's where you have to come into our organization. I think it's a great way to start in your career. Mariah came to us with a background in mental health. So she already had lots of credentials and lots of education and motivation to help us move forward. And that's why she easily fit into these roles that we had so quickly. You know, she went to our patrol academy very shortly after that and has become a certified peace officer, which is a police officer. And, excuse me, she, in that role, she participated in physical fitness. You know, physical fitness is a huge part of what we do. It's how we look in uniform. It's how we perform. It keeps us fit. It keeps us safe. And I'm very pleased to talk about Mariah's fitness, because, you know, to graduate from the academy, you have to pass fitness assessments. You have to pass it. If you fail it, you literally cannot graduate. And you have to take the academy all over again. That's 8 months. So that's the amount of importance we place on it. Mariah set records for our female fitness, and I will tell you that she runs the 1.5 miles in 10 minutes and 58 seconds. That is awesome. I also would like to note to you, as a measurement, we require the young men who pass this physical fitness assessment to make the 1.5 miles in 12 minutes. So she's a minute under those guys. She also completed 65 sit-ups in 1 minute and 39 push-ups in 1 minute. Excellent. So after she graduated from our patrol academy, she was transferred to our intake section, where she continues to excel. And she balances her work life, because we need a balance, you know, by training 7 days a week for the Queen Bee Marathon. So thank you for that. And also being a mother of a very proud son. And she has accomplished in her first 2 years so much. And that's why we have selected her. And it is a little unusual, quite frankly, to select someone with such, 2 years of tenure to this award, but it's so well deserved and very well thought. So thank you, Mariah. Here is your Career Achievement Award.
Step this way just to kind of get out from behind the podium. That's
Okay.
right.
Thank you.
Mariah's going to say a few words.
Thank you. All right. Good afternoon. So I would like to start off by saying thank you to the Rotary Club of Cincinnati for hosting this wonderful event. I'm honored to receive this award that recognizes the career enhancement that has become such an important part of who I am, not only professionally, but in my private life as well. I can share with you guys at this moment all of my many individual achievements I've accomplished, but I need you guys to understand that none of the things that I've accomplished could have been achieved without the support of those who went through the academy with me and my family. It was definitely a team effort, from the long nights to the studying to being there for each other when we were tired. We all did it together. Going through the Patrol Academy gave me a reason to strive for excellence. I woke up each and every day with the mindset to do better and to become better. Long runs on cold nights after school, countless sit-ups and push-ups every single day until failure, and being a full-time mom to my 5-year-old son, Kyrie, all paid off in the end. I would like to take this opportunity to recognize Sheriff McGuffey for her leadership and vision that she brings to the Sheriff Department, and to all the men and women that strive to provide excellent public service and establish community relations with the community we serve. And finally, to all the award recipients, I'd like to extend my congratulations to you guys all. A job well done. Thank you.
Next, I would like to introduce to you, for the Superior Achievement Award, Agent Dale Mikes. Agent Dale Mikes lives on what some would consider the best side, which is the west side of the city. I almost didn't even have to read that. I'm a West Sider as well. He's lived there since 2000 with his lovely wife, who is here today, of 26 years. Hannah. Welcome, Hannah. They have 4 lovely children. I believe they're lovely. I haven't met them all, but I'm sure they are.
Depends on the day.
And I want to tell you that Dale has started with our sheriff's office in 1998, and he served in the jail on our road patrol, and also with our organized crime section, which is typically called RENEW, which is Regional Narcotics Unit. And, that is his current position now, and he's held that position for 10 years. That's a long time to be working in that unit, and I'll tell you why. That is a very high caliber job. It is a job that every day is moving at a very fast pace, because drug dealers, people who are breaking the law in that way, they don't wait around, right? They're moving fast enough to try and stay ahead of us. But we have Dale Mikes, so we are quite successful in what we do with RENEW. And I want to say this, Dale serves his community in his off hours, which, we're always very proud of that for the staff, and for Dale to be in the planning and providing leadership to youth and adult members of scouting, which is great. I love scouting. That is awesome. And there is one thing that Dale could probably impart upon all of us. It would be to consider becoming an organ donor. So thank you, Dale, for including that. That's super important. And I'd also like to tell you a little something about Dale. What Dale Mikes does for our RENEW agents is he downloads, and he is a tech guy. So the phones, he gets information from the cell phones. And in fact, he's so good at it that they had a guy they were after who took his tablet, and burned it, drowned it a little bit, crushed it some, and so by the time we got it, it was in pretty bad shape, but the way I understand it, Dale was able to retrieve the information off of it. So thank you for that. So, Superior Achievement Award, very well earned, goes to Dale Mikes, Agent Dale Mikes.
Thank you, John.
Dale?
In fact, I have all the information off all your phones already today, so thank you very much. You'll be hearing from me later. No, I want to say thank you. As I was sitting over there, I was thinking, don't be first, don't be first, don't be first, don't be first. So thank you for being first. You did a great job. And again, I want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to be here. It does mean a lot. Some days when you get up, this is my second day of getting up before 4 a.m. to go out and watch people and do things that we do in organized crime to make sure that we catch our bad guy. So the hours are long. As you said, it's a grind, but at the end of the day, it's about finding that person and getting the drugs off the street. And I want to thank the sheriff and the chief for giving me that opportunity, and to the chief. He was my boss up until recently when he went to be chief deputy. He every time I'd go to his office, he said, "What now and how much does it cost?" Right. So we've had leaps and bounds in the technology department in the sheriff's office. And Chief, just so you know, my budget right now is at $1.2 million for things that I'd like to buy. So do I need to make that announcement for anybody to? Right. So yes, policing these days is all about technology, and with technology comes it's at a cost. So we are doing very good with what money that the commissioners allow us to have. But yes, it's a fun job. Every day my wife gets up and says, "What are you doing today?" And as the sheriff said, I have no idea. It's just, and I love it. And that's kind of plays well to my ADD side of things, that I can just go and be employed and do things that like fly drones. We just got drones, and it's a great business. I have enjoyed working here, and thank you.
Our next award for administrative excellence goes to Lieutenant Brian Hensley. So Lieutenant Brian Hensley is a 22-year veteran. He almost looks too young for that, doesn't he? And he's got that baby face. In that time, you know, he has come to the training division as the leader in training, the leader for all of not just our new people, but also the in-service staff and so forth. And it's such an important role. He's responsible for training over 400 uniformed and civilian employees. We have 900, by the way. We are 900 strong, for those of you that may not realize that. So it's a big organization. And, you know, we have so many personnel that training is just ongoing. It's CPR, it's first aid, it's report writing, it's self-defense, it's fitness. I mean, it runs the entire gamut. And, you know, as the lieutenant of that academy, his job is to make sure that we get the right people. I insist on it, and I remember my former boss, Simon Lease. Some of you might remember him or know him. That's where I learned to insist on it, because he insisted on it. And it's one of the things that I think really makes us such a strong department today. And Brian Hensley is the watch guard for that. He is, as a trainer, he is our liaison with our Great Oaks College, and as well, he does classwork, field training, physical training, and coordinates these operations with the academy for day-to-day. The scheduling and implementation of training, you know, for such a large amount of employees, you know, really is a job, and I know this because I did that job. It's a job that you take home with you. I mean, it's like being a teacher in all regards. You're going home and you're planning lesson plans, and you're trying to figure out how to motivate people, what to do to make people give that extra, you know, little bit that they need to succeed. And, you know, he's setting an example, and he's quite high profile, you know, that's the thing. He's high profile, and that means every day he's got to show up to work looking just like that. Which he does. And you see these pins on his uniform. These pins mean things, and they mean accomplishments and things that he's done and earned over the years. So Administrative Excellence Award goes well-deserved to Lieutenant Brian Hensley.
So I should start off by saying there's no pressure.
Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you to the Rotary Club of Cincinnati and all of its members for having us here today for this appreciation luncheon. I'm very honored, appreciative, and humbled that I've been nominated and selected for this award. I would like to thank Sheriff McGuffey, Chief Gramke, Major Ems, all of the administration for their support and trust in me to get the job done. I also would like to thank my training team, Lieutenant Moore, Sergeant Mula, Deputy Masters, all of the instructors who support me with their hard work and dedication, which allows me to complete all of the tasks and reach our goals. Without them and their support, this would not be possible. I also want to thank my wife for being here today and always supporting me, even when that consists of me coming home late, which happens a lot, or bringing work home to finish because I am just too stubborn to wait for it to get done tomorrow. Over the course of my 22-year career with the Sheriff's Office, I have always strived to be a positive role model, a leader, and a mentor. I have had the privilege of training countless numbers of officers throughout my career and have always pushed them to not only be the best officers they can be, but to also be a better person in their communities. Building relationships and helping those in need is not only rewarding, but is what sets our training program apart. I align volunteer days at the Free Store Food Bank, Habitat for Humanity, and even Tri-Health, where we pass out resource packs to some of the most at-risk populations, showing them that we do care and that there is hope. I have noticed that by incorporating these community projects during our training sessions, officers begin to understand they can make a positive impact in someone's life, not only on duty, but also when they are off duty. Seeing that change in them is what continues to motivate and drive me to become better. I love what I do. I am very grateful for the opportunities that this department has given me, and I am proud to be standing here before you today receiving this award. Thank you.
And our next award for Hero and Valor. This award goes to two men who are deputies, who wear the black and gold, who have long tenures with our department. And I'm going to tell you what each of them did together to earn this award, but I want to tell you about each one of them separately. I'll have them both stand up, and we have Enforcement Officer Tom Trabel. Enforcement Officer Stephen Wells. Tom Trabel is a former electrician, and he began his career in the Sheriff's Office in 2007. He graduated from our academy in 2007 and joined our Specials Division, which means that for a while there, he was a volunteer for us in uniform, and then he was selected to join our road patrol. You know, he's been permanently assigned to District 3 Sycamore, Sims, and Columbia Township. He has an expanded skill set when we talk about civil disturbance responses, and you know, it's paid dividends because we honestly have had to use those services recently, unfortunately, and they're things that are super important when you need them. So he is also married to his wife Melissa, who is here and right there. Hi, Melissa. And they have 3 children. Stephen Wells is a former enforcement officer, off here to my left, yes. And he is, an enforcement officer, and he started his professional career by keeping our country safe. He was serving in the Army National Guard for several years before he came to us in October 2006. He was a corrections officer, served in that capacity, and was on our emergency response team there in the jail, as well as a pepperball unit instructor. I'm not really sure how much training goes into firing the pepperball, but I'm sure it's a lot, right? And So in 2020, he was reassigned to our organized crime section, which is Renew. He's raising a very young family of 2 boys, Bryce and Cooper, and his wife Ellie is here. Hi, Ellie. How are you? And Deputy Wells decided to return to a road patrol position where he serves in Anderson Township currently. So what I'd like to do now is take a moment to read to you what both of these deputies responded to and what they did. And I think you'll agree that it is very important that they receive this award, and very well deserved. On June 22nd of this year, both of these deputies responded to a residence in Anderson Township for the report of a 3-year-old boy who was found unresponsive in a swimming pool. The child's mother had found the child. Of course, she was very hysterical and upset. And the scene was very chaotic. Deputy Wells was the first to arrive at the scene, and he immediately began assisting the child's mother in performing CPR. Not long after that, Deputy Trabel arrived, and he replaced the mother and assisted Deputy Wells in performing CPR. And this went on for some time. And you know, in a situation like that, minutes feel like hours, seconds feel like hours. And you know, these deputies worked so hard in a very chaotic, and you can imagine the surrounding sounds and the things they were working with to try and save this young boy's life. Deputy Wells became exhausted, and then Deputy Trabel would take over so that they maintained that CPR moment to moment. And when the life squad arrived, having played such a significant role in rescuing this boy, the boy began breathing, and he lived. And he is very well today. He's very well, and he has his life to thank for saving from these 2 heroic deputies. So thank you both very much.
I want to thank everybody for having us here. It's a true honor. Didn't really have a speech planned out, I'm sorry. So I'm trying to gather my thoughts after that. That was a very tough situation to be in. I'm grateful that I had my partner so that we were able to help save Eli. I want to thank the sheriff for making this happen. Thank you. The command staff for being supportive and making this happen as well. I want to thank my wife, Ellie, for her constant support. And again, thank you for this award. I'm very, very honored. Thank you.
I'll make this short and sweet. I think Stephen covered everything. I'd like to thank the Rotary Club of Cincinnati, Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Charmaine McGuffey, my wife Melissa. We were just in the right place at the right time, responded quickly, and reverted back to our training, and ended up with a good ending. Thank you.
Well, Hamilton County Sheriff's Department, thank you so much for being here and for sharing the day and for serving our community. All the awardees, well-deserved. We're so grateful that you are in our community and serving our citizens. We're so appreciative, Sheriff, of you being here and making this a priority. You mentioned that gestures matter, and we think so too, right? It's, in fact, an appreciation for your presentation here today and for your service to the public good. We'd like to share this Rotary coin. This Rotary coin says the Rotary Club of Cincinnati on one side, and on the other, it shares the four-way test. This is the 4 ethical principles by which we try to share for the public and serve for the public good. And in addition, in support of your service and presentation, we'd like to make a gift to the Hamilton County Sheriff's Department to further your efforts for keeping us safe. Let's give the sheriff and all the awardees a huge round of applause. Just a few final announcements. We have a few meetings today. Membership Development, Salon I on the 4th floor. Environmental Sustainability, Boardroom 3 on the mezzanine. World Affairs in the Julep Room on the 3rd floor. Women in Rotary, Boardroom 3 on the mezzanine, and the Program Committee in Salon D and E on the 4th floor. Next week, we have Mary Miller, CEO of Jancoa Janitorial Services, and I look forward to seeing many of you at the Centennial Celebration at Camp Allen on Saturday. Until then, have a great week. Meeting adjourned.